Alright, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and today I have for you episode 26 of my custom campaign for Kingdom Death Monster. This is Lantern Year 9, and this is the Nemesis Encounter. And today the survivors are going to be defending their homeland, their settlement, from the King's Man. And so I already have the terrain set up here, and I'll go through what this initial setup is, as well as the initial strategy, who I'm sending out, and then also show you what the King's Man stuff is, and then we'll get going and hope we can survive and defeat this Nemesis. Alright, so first, before I set up the camera again, I wanted to get a close in on all the pretties, new additions and stuff. So let's take a tour. Alright, so here is the Showdown board. Again, we're using the same 4 miniatures we used last time for the survivors. The left being the one with the guitars, and then the spear, and then representing the club, and then representing why am I drawing a blank? And then representing the skullcap hammer. But you know what? Since no, that's still a male. Yeah, that's right. All right, and then here we have the King's Man miniature. We have some dude that's totally armored and has a halberd. And it looks like also a short sword on the side. Alright. So, I did realize one thing when I was looking up the stats and stuff, when I was setting up these cards for the King's Man, is when you talk about how you attack, it's not that people can't attack diagonally. It's you always count spaces, and that's how far away you can attack. And you count orthogonally, meaning up, down, left, right. What I mean by that is when I was looking at the King's Man attack profile, it said that he has range 2, which means he can attack on the vertical. So it's not that you can actually attack on the vertical, it's he can attack moving 2 spaces away. So if you move 1, 2, he can attack somebody here, which yes, technically is diagonally. But it's not that you attack diagonally, it's you could attack that many spaces away. So like if it was 5 spaces away, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 spaces away. That means he could attack somebody here on the diagonal, but really it's someone 4 spaces away. So what does that mean? One, that means he has reach 2, first of all, because he has a spear. But more importantly, what that means is my people that have reach and range can technically attack on the diagonal if it's within that many spaces, which is cool because that means now when I go up to the monster, I can attack on the diagonals on the monster and hit it, or be far away with the bow and have a large range of options where I can attack. So it's actually a better weapon than I had been playing it. Before it's like, oh, you have to be perfectly lined up. That's not true at all. It's you just count that many spaces away orthogonally from the survivor or the monster, which is cool. Why is that cool? Well, I'll show you the strategies that I'm rocking with and explain. So basically, these gear grids are the same. I'm using the same 4 people who I brought out last Showdown. But I did switch a couple things around. But basically, the attacks for all of them are the same. So for Adam, he still has 2 hammers and the blood paint combination. I made sure he had monster grease this time, so he has a good chance of evading, because his evasion's 3. And then I also gave him Frenzy Drink, just because he had space in his grid, he might as well use it. And I want everyone to have ability to do some sort of support ability, so he has the harp. So he can Frenzy Drink himself or do the harp. But he also has supportive ability that if he does Skullcap Hammer, he can give the monster -1. This character again has the bone club and the arrow and the bow, because they're both cumbersome. And using the rawhide set, you can regenerate your survival, meaning that this person can dash for free. What is that? Why is that important? That means it can move and then spend its move and action to activate one of these cumbersome weapons, either monster damage in close or versatility shooting at range, which now, as I explained, is a lot more versatile. The person wearing the White Lion set, again, has guitars because it's got all these bonuses. Awesome accuracy, strength, and speed. And then I have this person having the Cat Eye Circlet as an ability to manipulate the hit deck. Oh, I should also say that the person with the Rawhide can manipulate potentially the AI deck with the headpiece. And then also ability to bandage to heal friends. Again, this character does not get the effect of the ability of roar or movement because I haven't completed the puzzle pieces on those two. And then finally, the person with the full set of Screaming Antelope has the spear because that means this person can do the slam and skewer abilities. And then I gave this person a bone blade in order to fully utilize the newly purchased Monster Tooth on this person. That way it gets another additional 2 to strength. And then also I gave this person Boss Mindy because since this person can attack on the diagonal, that means 2 people orthogonal from this person when they're attacking the monster can get +1 to their speed. Which is fantastic if I arrange this correctly with the Skullcap Hammer, because that means each weapon get +1 speed. So each weapon I will swing 4 times. Whereas other weapons get +1, which is awesome. So that's strategy and an update to how the attack profiles work. That's like every time I play this game, there's so many rules and so many things that you have to check and consider that you're bound to miss something. It just, the more you play and the more you read and remember, the better you are. So that's really important because the attack profiles then of the spear and the bow have more options than I had thought, which is cool. All right, so that's the general strat. And I showed you. So now I'm going to show you what can the Kingsman do, and then I'll get a little bit of coffee, and then we'll get started. Then when I get started, I mean like we'll do the arrival, and then we'll do the showdown. I mean we'll do the depart and the arrival. All right, so I'll do this part of the show. Next thing we want to do is any departure bonuses from these people. Okay. So what that means is one weird dream before we get that bonus because it activates when you depart, and then any other departing bonuses. So by default, everyone will get +3 survival when they depart, as well as from this card +3 insanity, in addition to anything that's on the individual character grids. So let's do it. So Emily will get +3 survival and +3 insanity, but the cap for survival now is 6, I believe. Yes. So her survival is 6. Her insanity goes up 3. So it goes from 10 to 13. And anything else. So I'll check the grid for the word depart. Nope. Alright, next is Samantha, who's at 6 survival, but also gets 3 insanity. So that goes to 6. And then anything else for depart. Does not look like it. Next we got Eve, whose survival is 5, so that goes to 6. And then insanity goes from 4 to 7. And then anything for depart. +1 survival, +1 survival. I'm alright max. Looks like that's it. Okay. And then we have Adam. Survival is at 6. Insanity goes from 4 to 7. And any other departing stuff. Does not look like it. Extra survival, but it doesn't matter. because I'm already max. Okay, so that's all the party bonuses. Now we do the arrival to the showdown bonuses. So now I'm looking for any words that have to do with arrival. So for one, everyone gets a +1 strength token because of Red Fist, which you could also use to in lieu of spending survival if you want to cash in the +1 strength. Okay, I'll start with Emily and go clockwise. Anything with arrival. I have, looks like just 1 and 2. So on arrival, I get an acanthus plant, and then a bonus if this person rolls on that plant, and then also +3 insanity. So her insanity goes from 13 to 16. And then I add an acanthus plant. And I believe it's an acanthus card, not a plant, but I'll check to see if it's 1 or 2. No, you add a terrain card, so that means I had 2 plants. So those are, in addition, going to be on the setup. Which is good, because you can use these to fully heal a hit location. It's good stuff. So, and the ruling for this is they have to be 6 spaces away from other plants, but they don't have to be that many spaces. It's not defined on spaces away from other terrain. Which means I can even do something like this and place it on the edges or something, where I might be standing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'll do something like this. That way they're in range, because I want to try to keep the Kingsmen in these little pockets, so I can surround and trap. Okay? Alright, next up is Samantha. Oh yeah, and also on arrival, everyone gets +1 survival, but everyone's already maxed because of the harp. Everybody. Okay, next up, let's see, arrival bonuses. Nope. Be sure to check their fighting arts as well to see if that adds anything. Okay, next I'll look at Eve. Arrival. Nope. And then Adam. Looking for arrival. Gain +1 survival, already maxed. Okay. Alright, so that's all the bonuses. I don't need Weird Dream anymore. I just want to have it here to remember to add it. Alright, so we did our bonuses. We've set up the board. Now I just want to show you the initial abilities of the Kingsman, and then I'll get some liquid coffee, and then we'll get going. So the Kingsman, this is the Kingsman stuff. Don't worry if you can't read it, because I'll read it to you. We're fighting a level 1, which means he's got 10 B cards and 2 A cards. That's the level of power of that ability. As you go from left to right, it's a better card for him, worse card for us. And so that means he has 13 hit points, because if you hit him when he has no AI cards, he dies. So he has 13 hit points. His movement is 5. He does take up 4 squares. Honestly, when I created the bases for these little guys, they should have used the monster-sized base, which takes up these 4 squares. So he actually takes up 4 squares. So I'll try to remember to place him in the middle. And he has 12 toughness, which isn't too bad considering my guys add so much toughness. But the problem here is his guard. At the beginning of each one of his turns, which I'll go into here, he's going to be, for free, be able to guard, which gives him another +5 toughness. So his toughness is 17. So that means effectively I can't hit him at all. The only way I can hit him, or have a chance at hitting him, is from his blind spot, which is his weak spot. He gets -4 toughness if you attack him from his blind spot. So I mean, it's still hard to hit him, but at least it's easier. So what that means is toughness gives him +5, weak spot gives him -4. So that means I can only effectively hit him from the back, and his toughness will be actually 13. So that means even with my strongest weapons, I'll still have probably only a 1/3 chance of doing damage. So he's very hard to hit. So I need to figure out a way to get past that. He also has King's Combat. At the start of each monster turn, he performs a basic action, which is his... Oh, actually, you know what? I read this incorrectly. I'm glad I'm going through this motion to explain to you guys. I actually read it incorrectly. Whenever he does his instinct, he guards. But at the beginning of each of his turns, he gets basic action, which is he either attacks someone in the blind spot or he guards. So what does that mean? That means whenever the Kingsman begins his turn, I always want to make sure I have somebody in his blind spot. Otherwise, he's going to go into a guard position, and it's going to be even worse. So what does that mean? That means if I just make sure that every time he begins his turn, he does not do guard. I mean, he may have AI cards that he does guard anyway, but let's assume he doesn't. That means as long as I always have someone in his blind spot, he's never going to guard. Which means my chance of hitting him would just be toughness 12. And then my chance of always, when I hit him in the back, will actually be a toughness 8. So that's actually really good. So the strategy here is I need to make sure I always have someone in the blind spot. That way I reduce the number of times or the possibility of him guarding. And I have a higher chance of hitting him in the blind spot. Now what that also means is whoever's in the blind spot is always also going to get hit. So I need to also alternate people who are in the blind spot so that the same person doesn't always get blasted. Another strategy I'm going to do, though, is the Skullcap Hammer and just attack from not the blind spot. Why? Because I don't care if I do damage with Skullcap Hammer, which I won't because its strength is so low. What I want to do with Skullcap Hammer is daze the monster, or I should say the Nemesis. That way, he gets a -1 speed token. Why is that important? Because that reduces the number of dice to attack me with. So, for example, if his attack profile is 2, he rolls. If his speed is 2, that means I make his speed 1, and then that means if that's hit dice hits my character, I'd spend a survival to prevent the damage, which is huge. Because attack with his halberd, I'm assuming it's going to do a lot of damage when it hits. But I'm assuming because it's slow, he's not going to swing that many times, but it's going to hit for a lot of damage. So that's the strategy is I need to get behind him, I need to always daze him, and alternate people that are behind him. I could have other people just try to do attacks, but it's more likely I'll probably have some of these people use their abilities to manipulate what comes up, like in particular the AI deck and the hit deck. Why the hit deck? I'll explain why that's a problem. Because he also has King's Aura, which is at the start of the monster's turn, and whenever the hit location deck is shuffled, you place 3 battle pressure hit location cards on the top of the hit location deck. Why is that a problem? Because for battle pressure, that means it automatically cancels the hit. But then you do King Step, which I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to look that up until we see it the first time. So what that means is, if I have people at least hit the monster, regardless if they wound, I'll burn through his battle pressures. So I want to have people that have a high chance of hit and low chance of toughness to hit first. That way, people, after I've burned through 3 of these, I can actually do actual damage to the person. I don't know what King Step does, but we'll find out. I do vaguely remember, but I'm not going to spoil that, because I honestly don't recall the mechanics, how it works. I just remember, well, I'm not going to say it. So yeah, I want to burn through these, and once I find out what King Step is, try to solve that problem. But if I have to burn through 3 battle pressures before I can deal damage. So I need to do hits to get through battle pressure. And the reason why I want to get through battle pressures is that way I get normal wound areas, because otherwise it cancels hits. And then again, I want to wound from the back because I have the best chance. So if I use a weaker weapon, for example, whereas stronger weapons I can hit from the sides. Alright, so that's general strategy. And the last thing, which I've already explained at the beginning of the stream, is he's got outfighting, which means he has reach 2. And he also has, as part of his AI, that whenever he moves to somebody, he always makes sure that he's 2 distance away. So he's never going to get super close. He's always going to get range 2 away. And, like I said, it can attack on diagonals. Cool. Well, that's my strategy. That's, in general, how the Kingsman works. And his basic attack, I don't know if I went over this, is... If this is going to zoom... Come on. It's weird. Sometimes this works. Other times it's like... There you go. He always attacks the person in the blind spot. Otherwise he guards. So I don't want him to guard. And then also whenever he does a basic action, he does a full move towards the target. And then he does a sweeping attack in front of him and hits everybody in front of him in that series of 6 squares. Going from right to left, from his perspective. And then everyone in that range gets knocked down and then pushed 5 spaces away. So anyone here is going to get blasted this direction. And knocked down. So I definitely want to surround him. I don't want to have people adjacent to other people because then multiple people get hit and knocked away. And also his speed and damage is a lot. His speed is 3 and damage is 3. So he's going to hit somebody pretty hard. And if he hits the same place multiple times, especially some of these people with less armor, that could be instant death. So that's a problem. So that's why I definitely want to reduce the speed and then be able to spend survival. And also, since I have extra sense, I can actually dodge twice per round, which will also be important. It also means I'm going to burn through survival really fast. So I need to solve the problem of killing this guy and rotating who takes damage is the idea. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to take a short break from talking, get a little bit of coffee, and we'll continue in 30 seconds. Since I've already read you guys the cards, I'm just going to move it up a little bit so it's easier to see the board. That's where the action's going to be. I've also noticed by looking at this that the setup is a little bit incorrect, because the columns have to be 4 spaces from other terrain. So that means I cannot put the acanthus here. Because even though the acanthus doesn't care, the columns have to be 4 spaces away from these guys. So I want to try to trap him here. I could also possibly trap here as well because he'll be stuck because he has a space of 4 spaces. But I'll try to get him here because I can loop around and stuff. So this has to be 4 spaces away from the column. So unfortunately, I can't put anything in these trap areas here because it's only 3 spaces away. But I can put something like, maybe I'll do them here. So that way, if I run around like this, people can heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the best place. I can even do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's true. I can put them back here so I can at least collect them initially. And actually, knowing that, I can actually start off on the Acanthus too. Because since we're defending our home, we're going to go first. So I can start off by collecting these. That's actually a fantastic idea. And actually, knowing that, I think I'll start off like this. Only because this person with the spear will get a bonus to pick up Acanthus. So I want to make sure I'm hidden from line of sight. Or do I? Yeah. I could start here. Have Eve pick it up. And Adam. I just want to be able to max engage is the thing. So, can that corner see this corner without touching a corner? No. I think that corner hits this corner when seeing this square. So these two are still hidden from line of sight. But from here, you argue can see. Alright, so this person is in line of sight. These two are not. So I'll do sub like that. Because I don't know what direction. I'm assuming from this placement he's going to go this direction. If he goes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other problem is since he does a basic action always before an AI card, that means he'll actually potentially move twice. You know what I mean? That means he's going to do a basic action and then do an actual action. So someone is going to get blasted initially, even though we go first. Unless I have everybody dash. That's something else I could also do. And then he'll be trapped here. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But his back is to here. So I'm still too far away. But if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I could do that. I could do that with everybody. I could start off, since we go first, initially dash and get in range. I could do that. And he's always going to basic attack someone in his blind spot. But when he starts off, I can't get to his blind spot because these stupid columns are in the way. So he is going to get the first blood anyway. So I think knowing that, I want to do ring around the rosy here, if possible. Preferably like here. Do a figure 8. No, you know, I'll keep the strategy. We'll do it. Yeah. I just realized that since his attack, he always moves. On his AI cards, potentially, that means he'll move like distance 10 with 2 attacks. Which is devastating, because that means he's going to attack somebody twice every time he attacks. Because you do a basic action and then draw an AI card. Yeah, that's gonna be devastating, actually. Okay, since the monster controller always moves at the beginning of monster's turn, who do I want to hit first? It looks like it's going to hit Eve, but maybe I don't want Eve to be the initial blow. And I definitely want, if someone is going to die, to not be the people with a lot of strength, because I need that strength to make sure I hit. So knowing that, it should be the cat person that's here, actually. And then most likely he's going to attack here, so I need to make sure I'm able to wrap around. So if I start off here, this is Eve. It's going to be hard to hit because if the person's here, I'm not going to be able to get to the blind spot. Unless I can go around and dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would work. If this person is here, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. That's not going to work because this person can only... I could still use the bow, I suppose. Well, if that's true that the person attacks here, that means I can attack from this direction. So that may be okay. But this person, Adam, I wonder, because I can start anywhere on this long side, I wonder if I can have him in the blind, out of line of sight. Then he can come in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and attack from the side. Of course, if he's going after closest, she would still be closer. So I don't have to get him too dramatically far away. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if he's attacking here, would be in the blind spot. But see, the problem is, again, if he hits, then she's going to move this direction. And then he's going to do his AI, which means then he's going to move down toward her and do something. So actually, he's going to probably end up... I mean, in this case, he's going to end up here. But you know what I mean? Like, if he started his turn here, like on his second turn, he's going to attack her, she's going to get blasted this direction, and then he's going to move in like this. But anyway, okay, let's start. I'm trying to like figure out what I could possibly do to rectify. All right, so we go first. So I know he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do an attack. So let's start. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is try to pick up some acanthus. So I'm going to pick up here. So this is Samantha. Rolled a 9, which is, I think, good. We get a fresh acanthus, super fresh. Alright, so Samantha now has an acanthus, which she could also use to fully heal one location. I have to look up later when I want to use that, whether that takes an action to use, or if I can use that like instantly. I don't know. I'll have to look at that. It doesn't say I spend an action, so I'm assuming I can just eat it. But we'll see. So that was her action. Alright, now she can move. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I could move her there. It's just, by being far away, I force him to not initially do a basic action. But if I'm not in range on turn 1, then he's going to immediately guard, which is going to suck. And guard until the start of the monster's next turn. So I have to make sure, just to stop his +5 to toughness, that somebody gets hit twice, unfortunately. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to make sure I'm in range to get hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to go here. That way I give everyone a chance. That way everyone can hit on 12, but then also if I get then in the blind spot, can but also remember that when she gets hit, she's either gonna get blasted here or she's gonna get blasted this direction, depending on which direction he moves. I'm assuming he's gonna move forward as fast as possible and then turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn. So his blind spot will be here. Alright, so that was her. Now I definitely want to manipulate his AI deck. And that's the person with the club. So I definitely want to do that. And I definitely want to... there's no point in manipulating the hit yet, because I need to hit him first. So Adam has the ability to do the harp, but the harp only removes moods, and these are traits. But he does have high evasion, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to be enough. So I'll have him go, but there's nothing else he can particularly do. I mean, I could do Frenzy Drink, but then he won't have Survival. So I could definitely do that later. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I'm in range to attack next turn, and I'm in the blind spot that he can't see. I'm not in the line of sight. Plus, she's still closer. So if he goes after someone who's in line of sight or closer, it will still be her. Okay. Now next up, we have the two that hit the hardest. So... let's do him first. I mean her first. And let's do the Rawhide Headband to make sure that I don't get blasted by a terrible AI card, as well as move. And I want to make sure I'm farther away. So I want to make sure I'm in blind spot, not able to be seen. But if people are going to get hit to the right, that could also be a... Well, I mean, the initial move looks like it's going to move like this. So I'm going to stay here, and then I'm going to attempt the headband. No, oh no, there's no roll for it. Great. I'm just going to do it. So look at the two top AI cards, and then can see what they are and look at and change the order if I want to. Okay, so it's an A level card and a B level card, so I'm glad we have this ability because I want to switch the AI card to make sure it's on the bottom, for sure. So he's going to spear someone, otherwise he's going to guard. Man, what I've noticed a trend for these is if someone doesn't get hit, then he's always going to guard. So if I want to make sure I can hit him, I have to make sure my people get hit. That's very dangerous. King's Axe, he makes attack at anyone in front of him. Whereas the Spear, it's everybody in that zone in front of him, as opposed to an AoE. So I definitely could put King's Axe on the bottom, because that's really bad. I mean, I want to remove that when I do a hit, but this way I know he's going to be doing the Spear. Which sucks, because that means right now he's going to hit actually both of these people, because this person is 4 away and this is a range 4. So that means both these people are going to get hit. So that's going to suck, actually. Unfortunately. So I know that's going to be the move after that move. Or maybe not, because he's going to do the basic attack and turn... No, yeah, because she'll get hit this way, stop, and then he's going to hit everyone. Man, she's going to get hit really fucking hard. Okay, so that's definitely the order. Okay, so that's it for her turn. And now we're going to attack... Now we're going to do the Spear Dude. Who, remember, I can also try to set up Boss Mendy also. but I also want to not be the target of the initial attack. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll be hidden, and at the same time still not be the closest attack target. But before I move, I'm going to pick up this Acanthus. So that'll be the full move. Now I'm rolling for this. And I get +2 to the roll, meaning I'll never fail. I'll never get the worst condition, which is that I suffer damage, which is cool. It'll either be nothing or I gain something. So I rolled a 3, which is a 5. So I'll find something tasty and consume it. If you do, gain +1 survival. I can't gain any survival, so that's a wash. So I got 1 Acanthus out of the whole deal, which is good. And it's actually good it's on Samantha, because that means I can heal. So that's it for our turn. Now, before we go to the next round, I'm going to look up Acanthus right quick just to see what is the timing on it. Because can I do it anytime immediately? Or does it take an action? Or can I only do it when it's the survivor's turn? That's what I want to see. Because she's looks like going to get blasted from this attack. So hold on one sec. Oh, yeah, here we go. Anytime, any phase. Which apparently was in the book, but again, like, there's just so much nuanced information, there's no way you can remember it all. And sometimes not even know where to look, because related information could technically be in multiple places. Okay, so it looks like I can use it any time during any phase. So, if immediately I take severe damage, I can immediately consume it. So that's awesome. Cool. So now it is the monster's turn. The monster controller moves to Samantha. So that was deliberate, obviously. Okay, so the first thing we do is 3 battle pressures go to the top of the hit location deck. Like so. For King's Aura. King's Combat, then he... Oh, I read this wrong. Man, reading. English is tough. King's Combat... It says at the... Oh, no, I read... Wow, I'm all over the board. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it said the end of each turn. At the start of each monster's turn. So the first thing the monster's going to do is a basic action. Which is... Oh. So I'm initially screwed anyway. Yeah, because initially he's going to do a basic action. A survivor in his blind spot, which isn't, so he's going to guard. So at the beginning of every monster's turn, if I'm not in its blind spot, it's going to guard and then do an attack. Which means my attack against it is going to suck unless I get in the blind spot. Okay. So initially, there's no one he can attack, so he's going to do a guard move. Okay. So he's guarded. So I'm going to do something to flag whenever he has extra defense. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to keep track of. So whenever I have the blue out, that means he's guarded. This way I visually remember. So he's guarded. He did his basic action. Now he's going to do his AI card, which we know what it is, which is Spear. The closest threat in the field of view that's in range. So field of view means he can see you, but he cannot. The only person he can currently see is this person. So that means he's going to do a full move towards the target, but of course always be one space away to attack at range. So he's going to do something like this, which is a slight problem because that means it's going to be hard to engage with him to get in the blind spot. Of course, would he do that? would he go 1, 2, 3, 4 and attack on diagonal? Because his attack is orthogonal. That means there's no target. Yes, he attacks on diagonal, but this says he attacks in that direction. So that means what he would actually do is move to here. He would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back up 1, 5, and then attack in this direction. That way he's one space away. If I'm reading this correctly, because it said on the where is it? It's said on outfighting that when a monster moves towards a target and the monster's movement one space away from the target. Oh, so actually that's also true what it might do. It might actually have, instead, you do a full move. So you could go 1, 2, 3, and then blast her in that direction. Yeah, that's actually that's the shortest move. Okay. Yep, that's what he would do. All right, so he's going to spear. So he's going to full move towards the target, make a separate attack against each survivor in the highlight zone, which is anybody in front of him 4 spaces, which is only her. All right, so the attack is speed 3, accuracy 3. Let's see what her stats are. Samantha, she has 1 evasion, so that means he hits on a 4+. Oh, wow. When this person gets hit, they get a -1 movement token after damage. Wow, that sucks. That may make sense. He got impaled. But it's like, wow, that sucks. Alright, so he hits on a 4+. We rolled a 1, a 7, and an 8. So that's 2 potential hits. And there's going to be she'll get a -1 movement token after any damage, if any damage happened. So we got 2 to chest, which is terrible. Why I say terrible is because he's doing 3 damage. That means he's doing 6 damage to the chest. Which means she'll, like, immediately be on the, like, she has to spend a survival. She does have extra sense, meaning she can spend survival twice to dodge. So she's going to spend 2 survival and go down to 4 to dodge all damage. And since I took no damage, there's no -1 movement. Whew, man, that was super lucky. Because, like that would attack on any of the one of these two could have instantly maimed them or killed them. Terrible. Oh, and she also gets +1 insanity because she was the target with monster control. Okay. Now, the other thing I could have done is she does have Acanthus, which heals all damage done to body. So I could do that. That way it saved 2 survival. Because survival, it doesn't matter where the damage is, but Acanthus only heals 1 location. You know what? I'll do that instead. I will do that instead. Instead of spending 2 survival. Of course, the thing is, this I can instantly heal damage. And after damage, she'd still get a -1 token. So it's like, what would I rather do? I think I initially want to do as much damage as possible. I hope I don't regret that later. So I'll keep what I have. Of course, does she initially even need the movement? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, she's still kind of stuck anyway. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I can't assume because she could get annihilated some other way. So I'm gonna spend the Acanthus to fully heal all of the damage, and then she'll get a -1 movement token. The question is, if it's done in steps after damage and it instantly heal, that means she took no damage. Let me see. This triggers after damage. And this one says, I mean, I would argue she probably still gets impaled. But I mean, it's a check though, and that says you could do that immediately at any time. So that means did she take damage from the attack? Yes. But then I said I healed the damage. So that means did she still take the damage? I would argue you probably would still count as taking damage. I could be wrong. Alright, so I'm looking for movements. So she gets -1 movement. But she still has all of her survival. So now it's our turn. And he still has his guard. Alright, so but that's our turn. So I want to attack back here, and then I know if someone's back here as a basic action. So normally he always does an AI. So that's the other thing to wait is, well, I mean, yeah, I have to get rid of guard. Like, I can hit on 12 or 13 potentially with a couple people, but I can't hit on 17. So right now his armor, his toughness is 17, which is terrible. So that means right now I can hit people to try to do this tempo stuff, but I need to get into the back of them to do some damage. So what does that mean? One, two, three, four, 5. A little too far away, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do that, but then we'll also be hit with whatever it is. I definitely never want to be beside him. I always want to try to be at range or behind him, because I know his attack profile and this next attack is going to hit everybody in a certain radius of him. Actually, I can go ahead and look at it since I know what it is, which is, yeah, 2 distance away. So I definitely want to be behind him. But I know he's going to attack if I'm in the blind spot, whoever's behind him. So it's going to be the reverse. What I mean by that is, if I'm in front of him, he's always going to do his basic action first, which is attacking someone behind him. And then these people behind will be safe, which is great because they're coming from behind. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm spending a dash to do that, which is a 10, so it's for free. Now I can do my actions. So now means I can do a cumbersome maneuver. So what I want to do is hit with a claw head arrow, because I want to give him a -1 evasion. So that's easier for us to hit him. And because if we can hit him, then we can start milling through these battle pressure cards, which I still don't know what they do. Alright, so, but this will make it easy for everyone to do it. So I'm going to attack with Eve and do the claw head arrow, which is 1 dice, because it's slow, and then it hits on a 6. To see if I have any other bonuses or anything. Nope, hits on a 6. So I need a 50% chance for this to hit. We rolled a 3, so that was not good. That was my only chance of using that weapon, so that was a miss. Alright, so that's it for her turn, because it was a cumbersome weapon. Or was it? This attack didn't say it's cumbersome. It's only cumbersome if you use the bow. So actually I technically could still move. But I don't have to. Okay. So I think who I want to attack with next is her because she could potentially, looks like slam. If she does a full move toward a target, if I move 4 or more spaces, I stop adjacent. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it say in a straight line? Oh, it says in a straight line. Oh. And I started here, right? So actually, I could have been here. And then if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I could then, I did a full move. No, I'll roll that way. So I have to move 5 spaces. So I moved 5 spaces. I'm doing a slam. Because I did a slam, it gets knocked back 1 and a -1 toughness until the end of the round. So it goes back 1 and it gets -1 toughness. And then since I slammed, I can skewer, which then for my action, I could do a slam. So instead of a move, I did a slam. But instead of an action, I'm doing a skewer. And I can move 1 space and activate a melee weapon with +2 strength. Okay, so we're doing that. And then we're activating. Alright, so she rolls 4 dice and is going to hit on a 6. And gets a temporary bonus of strength. That's only if we get through this battle, this King's battle pressure, and it says it cancels the hit. So, okay, so we are rolling how many dice? 4 dice? 4 dice, and we hit on a 6. So we got 3 hits, got 2 9s and a 7. So that means I go through 3 of these battle tempo cards that I unveil. But the first one, I read King Step. So I got 3 battle pressures. And now I'll do the first one first, sure, and look up what King Step does. Which is story time. Yeah, Kingsman. Hello, Anacros TV. We're just in, what, round 2? All right, what was I looking up again? King Step. 137. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I forgot to read you guys the story stuff for the Kingsman even before we began. Let me read that to you, and then I'll do the King Step stuff. I totally forgot. My bad. 173. Yes, forgot to show you the goodies. All right, so here's the art for the Kingsman. And then Showdown stuff. And what it says here is, there was once a monster that was there was once a monster that was to lead its master's regal procession. First the monster came as a herald, then its hungry masters. So fierce were the monster's masters that it never thought to protect its own back, knowing what horrors lay behind it. That's foreboding. The only way to hit it is from behind, but then they said horrors if you do. Interesting. All right, so now I'll show you King Step, which has the same picture as that hit location card. Okay. King Step. Resist the unspoken pressure of the monster's onslaught. Your body trembles as your mind wavers. You struggle just to stay standing against the pressure projected by the monster. Discard all unresolved hit locations. End your attack and attempt to overcome. Alright, so first of all of these other battle pressures are discarded. And these get added back at the beginning of King's Aura. Wait, let me do this correctly. At the start of the monster's turn, and whenever it's shuffled, place 3 battle pressure. So because I had one person engage, and I got through all the battle pressures, now there's no more battle pressure. These are all here, and we'll only go back either if this is shuffled or at the beginning of the monster's turn. So I have an opportunity now to hit, which is cool. Okay, now I attempt to overcome. So I roll d10, and then you add +1 for every tempo token that you have. We don't have any tempos yet. Okay, so I roll d10, see what happens. We rolled a 3. The monster swiftly finds an opening in your poor footwork and mercilessly slams your shin. Suffer a random severe leg injury. Gain 1 tempo token. A severe leg injury? Christ. Wow. That's terrible. Fuck. But we also gain a tempo token. Alright, so how am I going to flag this? I'll flag this with the insanity stuff. Okay, so the person with the spear now has 1 tempo. And, what else did it say? Suffer a random severe leg injury. That, my friends, is terrible. So I'm just going to put my bookmarker on the king step and now go to the severe injury table. This is bad because not only could I'm probably gonna get bleeds, but if I can't move at all, I'm screwed. And then also, I could instantly die. What does it say? What was I looking at? Severe leg injury. Okay, so now I roll on the severe leg injury table. We got a 9, so that's potentially a least bad scenario. Gain 2 bleeding tokens. So we got 2 bleeds. There we're at. 2 bleeds and about battle tempo. But now there's also no more battle pressures, which is, I don't know yet if that's good or bad. I just know that currently there are no more battle pressure. It seems like he has this wave of presence that he forces everybody down and away from him. Okay, so that's the end of her turn. That wasn't as bad as it could be, I suppose. Now I have 2 people left to go. Which are Samantha and Adam. So he still has guard. So it's unlikely Samantha's going to hit at all. And Adam could potentially hit, but it's very unlikely because he's still got guard. Even if he hits in the back, he's only adding 3 to strength. So if his strength is 13, that means I have to roll natural 10 just to hit. So the question now is, with Samantha, I can look at the hit locations to at least make it more possible. Because I'll know what's coming up. And Samantha can also heal wounds. So maybe that's what she'll do. Maybe she'll heal some wounds. She'll heal wounds by spending action. And who got hit? Oh no, she's still one too far away. Okay. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3. But then everyone's going to get hit that's super close. But was that distance 2 away? Oh no, in the blind spot you're safe from the wrath. So she'll go ahead and get a range. And then she'll heal her 2 bleeds by spending action. Okay. Yeah, I think I do need tempo. I just didn't read ahead to see what it did. And actually, I do have Frenzy on the person with on Adam. Actually, I just don't want to use it yet because when you use Frenzy, you can't spend Survival for the rest of the round. But I do have some Frenzy to do, and yeah, tempo. It seems like the more tempos you have, it increases your odd. It gives you bonuses whenever you do King Step again, so you have a better chance of getting a high roll for tempo, which I'm assuming is a really good thing. Which sounds like is King Step. I remember that. So the question is, can I do enough damage to kill him before everyone gets wailed on, or can I get King Step soon enough before everybody dies? That's what we'll find out. Okay, so Adam's next. I want to try to hit him with Skullcap Hammer and get a perfect 10. That way he has -1 speed for sure. Definitely want to do that. The other problem is, if he's going to be a target of both attacks, he may die in the process also, is the other problem. But by him being here, he'll be in the blind spot, so at least then he won't guard on his next turn. And that's why I feel like I have to do. That way I have a higher chance of just potentially doing damage. But on the other hand, I can't do damage while he's got battle pressures. Anyway, we will roll with it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So I think I want to do that, so I'll spend a dash to get there. Now I'm in the blind spot. I spent a survival, the dash. So that goes to 5. Good. And then of course I'm going to try to attack, it's just the odds of me hitting are very low. But regardless if I wound or not, if I just at least hit with one of my weapons, not wound, he'll get a -1 speed token, which would be great. So that I want to do, for sure. And I need to remember that Samantha, the person with her, also has -1 movement token for us to the Showdown. Gotta remember that too. Alright, so. The good thing is Adam does have some decent evasion. His evasion is 3. So, but between, if I can get a -1 speed token and evade, could potentially dodge the attack entirely. We'll see. Okay, so let's attack. So his speed is 3, his accuracy is a 6, but I'm attacking from the blind spot. That means my accuracy is a 5. So it's 3 dice hit on 5. We rolled a 3, a 9, and a 10. So we got our natural lantern. So now he gets a -1 speed token until when? Until the end of its turn. He gets -1 speed. Nice. And remember, I do 2 attacks with the Skullcap Hammer also. So I got 2 hits. And I also get bonus to strength because he got skewered by Emily. So now I draw 2 hit locations. We got Halberd Handle and Regal Helm. Yeah, right. Immortal has no survival, right? Can't spend survival, but you have like all damage go to your brain. So if you have a way that you can just feed insanity to that person, it's kind of like a mana shield on a spellcaster. That means potentially it could tank forever if you have ways to just keep adding to that person's sanity all the time. Exactly, yeah. That's why during the last video, Volva, who got Immortal, even though it has -1 to all of her stats, could be an amazing tank if I have a way to just feed her insanity. Right. Alright, it's like a Regal Helm and Halberd Handle. One has if I crit and a reflex, the other one has if I wound. This says you have an advantage if you're attempting to wound with a dagger. I don't have a dagger. And the toughness now, it's +5, but then it's -4 because I'm attacking from the blind spot, and then it's also -1 because of the toughness token. So that means it's a wash. That means I have to hit toughness 12, and his strength is a 4. So that means to hit, I have to do a 9 or better to hit, if I'm doing all the math correctly. Because +5, -4, -1, so it's 12. And then my strength is a 4. Oh no, my math is wrong, so I hit on an 8 or better. +5, -4, -1. And then 12 -4. Yeah, so I hit on an 8 or better, so that's not, it's still bad odds, but it's not terrible. Okay, so let's see what we do. So I want to do Regal Helm first, because if I hit with that, if I wound with it, then I'll have -2 toughness until the start of the next monster's turn. So it'll be easier to wound with the other one. So I'll do that. So and there's no crit, so it doesn't matter with luck, because I can't crit with this. So I hit on an 8 or better. Oh shit! We rolled a 9! Holy shit, we did a damage! Which is fantastic, because this was an A-level card. I mean, because it also sucks, because I knew how that was going to react, but still, I did a damage. Very exciting. And it was an A-level card. The reason why that's exciting is I know this deck only has 2 A-level cards. So that was huge. So we did 1 damage. And that says, if you wound, the attacker gets 1 survival. Adam spent 1 to dash, and now he goes back to 6. Okay. And then we do the other wound, potentially, and then because he has blood paint, he can do a second attack with the hammer. Okay, and since we wounded, he gets -2 toughness. That means I'll hit on I'll wound on a 6 or better now. Unfortunately, this time it was a 1, so that sucks. But we got 1 damage in. And then he's got a reflex. Sorry, let me flag. The reflex says, spend 2 survival to gain 1 courage and boldly deflect the halberd, or all survivors within 2 spaces of the Kingsman are knocked down. So I either spend 2 survival, or everyone within 2 spaces are knocked down, which would be 3 of these people. Or spend 2 survival. Knockdown, I don't know what he had. I just don't know what the Kingsman's able to do, but I have this fear that I have 1 shot. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, is if somebody's knocked down, that he'll go over the body and just impale someone to death. I'm afraid that that ability may be present somewhere. So I don't want anyone to be knocked down because I'm afraid of that. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. So I'll spend 2 survival on Adam. So he goes from 6 to 4 to prevent that altogether. So now, after that, now he can do his second attack with a skull cap hammer. I can't daze the monster twice in one round, but I can still get some more damage. So he's gonna have this -1 speed during his entire next turn. And he still has the -1 toughness. Plus, with Regal Helm, he actually has -2 toughness until the start of his next turn. So actually, I still have the effect of Regal Helm, actually, in play as well. So his toughness is -3. So it means I'll hit on an 8. I mean, no, hit on a 6. Wound on a 6, sorry. Wound on a 6. Alright, so now I roll for the other hammer, which is 3 dice. I'll just keep this so I remember to include it. We got a 3, a 5, and a 6, and he hits on a 5. So that's 2 hits, because I got a 5 and a 6. So we got, the cards kind of stick. So hopefully no traps. We got Regal Gut Plate and Regal Sheath. One's a reflex with a basic action, which would suck. We don't want to do that. But the other one's a reflex, which would also suck. So it's a lot of suck. One moves the monster away. So I definitely want to do that last. The other one has a reflex. He does a basic action. Meaning he will turn. And then, so, I mean, I guess that's the best one to do first. Because the other one he's going to move. And then I won't potentially get the other hit. But if I crit, you always negate. Because both of these have a critical wound. So if I roll a natural 10 on either one, I can cancel it. Alright. So to wound, it's 4 plus 2. So that's 6. 12 minus 6 is 6. So I hit on a 6 or better. Wound on a 6 or better, sorry. Hit and wound are 2 different things. You hit as far as the accuracy of your weapon. Did you actually hit the target? Whereas wound is that when you hit him, did it penetrate the flesh and the armor? So there's you roll the hit and then you roll to wound. Okay, so rolling the wound, and I crit on a 10 and I wound on a 6. We rolled a 1, which is it's not great. I would say it's probably the worst you could do, right? All right, so that's terrible. So now he's going to reflex. Return any discarded battle pressure cards to the top of the hit location deck. That doesn't matter because it's the beginning of his turn anyway, and he'll get them back anyway. So it doesn't matter. And I've already drawn the wound cards. So, and the purpose of this doesn't matter. It just means that if other people could attack afterwards, that would suck. But at the same time, that means more people could get the Battle Temple. So, tomato, tomato. Okay, so now he performs the basic action and targets the attacker. So he normally attacks in his blind spot, but because he's a target, he would get attacked regardless. So the monster's going to turn. That means now these 2 are in the blind spot, and it's going to attack in this direction. Alright, so his attack is speed 3, but because of I dazed him, his speed's only 2, so he only rolls 2 dice. And his accuracy is a 3, but my evasion is a 3, so that means he only hits on a 6+. But if he hits, then he's going to get to bash and knock me back, and after damage, he knocks me this direction, all that shit. And if he hits me and I'm out of range, then I can't do any more hits, all that nonsense. So he rolled an 8 and a 5, so it's only 1 hit, but I could spend a survival to completely dodge it, which I'm going to do. That way I stay in range. Alright, so I'm going to spend a survival, so now I'm at 3, and avoided another onslaught. Yay. Okay, so now I do my other wound. Again, wound on a 6, crit on a 10. I'm just gonna flag that I've already spent 1 survival already this round. I mean, because I only dodged. Wait, did I dodge? I think that's already my 2nd dodge, so I don't think I'm spending more survival. Am I right? Because he attacked him, and then I spent a survival to dodge, and then all that survival crap happened. I think that's right. Well, no, he attacked her. So I've only spent 1, because he has extra sense. So I've already spent 1 dodge. I could spend 1 more this round. Okay. That's right, because she was attacked, not him. When he did his turn. Okay. Anyway, I rolled a 5. What does that mean? I needed a 6 to hit. I needed a 6 to wound. So that's a miss. And then reflex. Turn to face the attacker. Then, without turning, move the monster 2 spaces directly away from attacker. So, if he moves 2 spaces away, that means he moves to here, and then that means he collides with both these people, saying, I need to look at collision again, see what that means. 1 second. I don't take damage, because you only take damage if you get trampled, and that was a Screaming Antelope effect, but I need to see, I believe it causes people to be knocked down, but to see where I place the people, or if I don't move the people. That's what I want to see. If you collide and the monster would end its space there, does that mean people get knocked back, or does that mean the monster stays adjacent? That's what I need to see. Uno momento. If a monster moves through a space occupied by a survivor, they collide and the survivor suffers collision. When a monster suffers collision, they are knocked down. So I at least know they're knocked down. I kind of already knew that. I just don't know about board positioning. Okay. If a monster ends its movement on a survivor, they collide. The survivor suffers collision and knockback 5. Okay, that's what it is. Anything else? Collision, knockback 5. If a survivor suffers knockback into another survivor, complete the knockback movement normally. Both survivors suffer collision at the end of knockback. Okay, so this is terrible. So he hit him and then moved backwards, which then collided everybody. But the problem is they suffer knockback 5, but they're limited in how far back they can go. So I'll just do the max that they can move, because I can't move through this. So these two, the knockback 5, the farthest they can go is to here. That means the monster farthest he can go is to here. And then everybody already took their turn, and then everyone except Adam is knocked down. But no one took damage from it, fortunately. Just everyone got knocked back. He like rushed backwards. Ah. Okay. And then it says here, if the attacker has King's Step, they may follow the King's Man and move 2 spaces forward, which I don't. Otherwise, count all hits now out of range, which didn't matter because that was the last hit anyway. Blah. Okay. So that's it for Survivor's turn. Whew, man, that was a lot of talking. Let me give me a sec, get a swig. That was a long round. Which I know the rounds will go shorter once people start dying, but I don't want that to happen either. Okay, so it's the beginning of the monster's turn, so now we do a limited cleanup. He still has the -1 speed. He loses guard, potentially, for now. He loses the -1 toughness. And the monster controller now goes to Emily, who's the spear person. And yeah. And these people already took the turn that was knocked down. And then we do some more setup stuff. Next thing we check is we put all three, what the fuck it was called, on top of the deck. Battle pressures. He's got 3 battle pressures on top. And then he does a basic action before he does an AI card. So for his basic action, he's going to target someone in his blind spot, otherwise he gets guard. Fortunately, I do still have someone in his blind spot, so he will not guard, so he will not get a blue. So he won't get +5 toughness, which is great. So, but he is going to turn and then do an attack and then get an AI card, which is bad because he's going to hit all 3 of these people with his basic attack and then do an AI. I mean, I'm not going to say this is going to be bad. What I'm trying to say is it's going to be terror bad. So keep that in mind. Fortunately, we know Emily's going to get target at least once, maybe twice, and gain more insanity, which could be bad because she's already at 16 insanity. But see, Emily would be a great person to give Immortal. 16 insanity? Holy shit, you could absorb hits for days. Okay, so he's doing a basic attack, which is speed 2 because of he's still dazed. So that's a good thing. But his profile, he moves towards the target and then make a separate attack against every survivor in the highlighted zone, which is all 3. So he's gonna attack all 3 people. So to keep track of who's already got attacked, I'm gonna use these lunacy tokens. So at first he's gonna be targeting who is that? Samantha. Okay. So it rolls 2 dice. 2 dice, and to hit Samantha, she has 1 evasion. So he hits on a 4+. He rolled an 8 and a 6, that's 2 hits. Regal Helm also goes away now. Got foot and hand, and she'll take 3 damage to both. And then if she took any damage, then also gets knockback 5 and knocked down. Which is bad, because what that means is, if you get hit by the axe, every time you get hit, you won't be able to have another turn, and then it'll hit you again. This is pretty bad. And I don't have Rawhide Drum, so I can't pick up everybody. I can only pick up 1 person. This is bad. I'm not gonna lie, this is bad. So the foot and the hand. But if I take any damage, then she's gonna get knockback and bash. So the question is does she have extra sense? Who is that? She has extra sense, so she could spend 2 survival to go to 4 and spend dodge twice, preventing both attacks. And since she took no damage, she does not get knocked back or bashed or anything. Of course, on the other hand, even if she got bashed and knocked down, she's already knocked down. So getting knocked down again doesn't refresh it because you're already knocked down. So she would still get up regardless. So that's the other thing to reconsider is maybe I only want to spend 1 survival and then get moved over here. Because then I'll at least be away from the rest of the party. That's not a terrible move either. This is Samantha. Let me think about that. So that's the foot and the hand. I mean, I could do that. She'd get moved 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, and she wouldn't collide because she's up here. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. What else bad happens? You get bash and knockback 5 in the direction of the arrows. But she's already knocked down. So I'm just going to stop 1 damage. And what was that? That was the foot and hand. I'll stop damage to foot because, well, shit, what's worse? I don't know. I'll stop damage to the hand, so I'll take it to the foot. So I take 3 armor to the foot. My survival goes back to 5. Oh, but she does have -1 movement. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. She won't be able to move in range without dashing. You know, fuck it. Nah, fuck it. If I'm dashing, then that means I can move 8 spaces anyway. Okay. So that means now she gets knocked back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's already knocked down, so it doesn't get reapplied. Am I wrong about that? That if you're knocked down and you get knocked down again, you're still knocked down. So does it count the first time, or am I wrong about that? I mean, it's sort of like in D&D, for example. If you are prone and something makes you prone, you're still initially prone. It doesn't refresh the prone. It's, you know, it's the fact that you got knocked down and then you need a while to get back up. But it's like she's already down. But let me see if it says. She's already knocked down. She'll stand at the end of the next monster's turn. But then she's knocked down again, but she's already knocked down. So what does that mean? Let me see if I can't look that up right quick. If I can't find the answer, then I'll roll the way I am. But you can also make the case that, you know, she's knocked down, but then she's blasted over here. That makes sense that she's on the ground again. So, you know, you can make the argument both ways. Flavor-wise, it would make sense, but mechanically, it doesn't make sense if you're knocked down to get even more knocked down. Yeah, you're saying still prone. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, I don't think it refreshes. I just think that if you didn't have it, you would get it. Because I'm not sure the best way to look that up either. Oh, here we go. Knock down will knock down. Great. Let's see if... Yep. If you get knocked down, you can't get knocked down again. Great. That's what I thought, because I thought we had looked it up even when I played my last campaign a couple years ago. Yep. That's the ruling. It doesn't refresh. It's either you have it or you don't. And then whenever it first triggered, that's when you can get it again. Yep. So, and that's why I'm going to game this, is the fact that she'll be able to have a turn next turn. So I'm just like, so who cares if I get moved? Might as well save a survival. Exactly. Okay, so now he's going to target these two. So next one I'll have him target is, I don't know, who would he target next? Do I have a choice? Let me check. The reason why I say is, if this gets knocked back 5 and targeted next, he would stop here. Whereas if he targets him first, they would both get knocked over here. See what I mean? Let me see. All it says is make a separate attack against each survivor. I mean, as the monster controller, I could choose, but at the same time, I could also just roll the dice. What do you think I should do, Anacris? Do you think I should roll dice to make it random on who's the next target, or should I just choose? Okay, I'll roll. Because you see what I mean, but like, if I choose, I can gain whether they are here or here, depending on who gets hit first. Because they get knocked in this direction. And if they collide, they'll stop here and both just... They would stop here, that's what I mean. Okay, so I'll roll. Okay, so... Well, I guess I'm going to roll, because I don't know who's getting targeted. Right. God, Jesus. Okay. So I'll have odds, evens. It's a 4, so he's going to hit Eve and then Emily. So Eve is the next target. Okay, so same deal. It's 2 dice because speed is still -1. We got a 7 and a 9, so that's definitely 2 hits for sure. We got foot twice. Now that's terrible. That is really bad. I mean, that could be. Who is that? Eve? Yeah, I mean, that could be instant death. Because that's 3 damage. That would be 6 damage to legs, of which you can only take 4 damage before you go on the table. So that could be. That's definitely instant death. Potentially. Her evasion is a 1, but it was super high. So she's got survival. I could have her absorb 1 damage and then get knocked, but if she gets knocked, she'll collide with this and take 1 additional damage, and then she'll stop here, if I recall. Do I spend 2 or do I? I mean, if I stopped here, the problem is I don't know what this person's next attack is going to be, so I don't want 2 people to be in whatever crazy crap he's going to do. So I think I want him to get knocked away. So I think she'll dodge 1 and then take 1. So she'll take 3 damage to leg. So that means she took light damage. She stops the other one, but because she took any damage, she does get bashed and knocked back 5. Bash just means you're knocked down. She's already knocked down. Then she goes back 5. I need to look at rules for the column. When a survivor collides with this, stop their movement and archive the terrain. They suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. Okay, so she's going to move next to her. She's going 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to stop here. I know it's a he, but it's the closest model I have, but it's a she. And she collides. So then I roll and she takes 1 damage somewhere. And then the column was destroyed. It's like she bashed into it. So that's the head. 1 damage to head. Of which she has 1 armor left now. Okay, and then we do this attack. And this is all before he does his AI card. I mean, this is like... Yeah... It's... I mean, I'm afraid of the Butcher because he had the opportunity to one-shot a character. But, I mean, this is just, like, insane damage to everybody all the time. So it's like... And I mean, I've only done 1 damage. I still have to do 12 more damage to this fucker. Okay, so... Now you're rolling against this person who gets 1 insanity for being targeted. So it goes to 17. Hopefully she can use that insanity to win. I mean, she's got 17 insanity. I mean, God. Hopefully I can use that for something, for fuck's sake. Does she have evasion? Of course not. All right. Roll. Wow. But we got lucky. We finally got lucky. He rolled a 1 and a 2. And he had to hit on a 3. So he completely missed with his attack. Fantastic. Wow. That was great. I say that was great, but now he's going to do his AI. So the good news with the AI is I know there's only 2 A-level cards in the deck, and we got rid of 1. So that's the good news, is he's going to do bad shit, but it's not going to be epic bad, at least. So that's good. See what it is. Hopefully it's not the A card. Oh my god. Why? I had good luck followed by bad luck. It's like the balance, man. King's Walk. It's an A-level card. Let me see if I get the zoom. It's the other A-level card. The good news is it is a mood, so I could remove it with the harp. That's the good news. The bad news is whatever it does. The King's Man bends its knees and lowers its center of gravity. After the monster performs a basic action, move it directly back 3 spaces without turning. So what this means is whenever he does a basic action, he's going to then go back 3 spaces and then do his AI card. Or if he ever does a basic action, he's going to then move back 3 spaces afterwards. Which sucks, because that makes it hard to hit him in his blind spot, right? Okay, so there's no room for this, but he does get this in addition. Let's see, what can the camera see? I'll just keep it up here so you can see. So he's got King's Walk, which is a mood I can move away. So when it says whenever he performs the basic attack, oh no, that's what it means. It's not that you move him 3 spaces after doing basic attack. It's controlling his movement when he does the basic attack. It says after the monster performs the basic action. Oh no, I read it correctly. After you perform basic action, then he moves backwards slowly. Okay. So this is a bad card potentially, but maybe it's also good. Because that means I know exactly, like maybe I can game the system somehow. You know what I mean? Potentially. So it's like it's bad, but it may not be terrible. Because especially when it's his turn, because he'll do a basic action, and then he'll move back 3 spaces, and then he'll do his AI card. So maybe that's a good thing. What I mean by that is, instead of doing basic action, and then rampaging this way and hitting everybody, that means he'll do a basic action, move back, and then move forward. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I mean, like, it may be actually a good thing. Like, it sounds bad, but I don't think it's a bad card now I look at it. That may be a saving grace. Because that means he'll have to move farther before he even begins his AI card. Exactly. Or if it had an AoE, he'll be far away and no one will get the AoE. Exactly, yes. So maybe I'm actually going to keep it out. Exactly. Plus, the other way you can game the system is, in order to kill the Kingsman, you have to hit him when he has no AI deck, which includes his discard. That does not include any traits. So the fact that he got a mood out means technically I did a free damage to him. Because as long as this mood stays out, it's not part of the AI deck at all. So technically his hit points are now down to 11 instead of 13. So this may be good. He's all trying to be strategery, but this actually may be a good thing. Exactly. This may be good. Okay, so I think I kind of got off track. Okay, yeah, so that was the AI card I draw, so now it's our turn. So now everyone gets back up who was knocked down, because they were knocked down during, I'll say the butcher, during the last round. So all of these, everybody gets a turn. For time being, anyway. We don't need acanthus plants anymore. Okay. So, we know whenever he does a basic action, he's going to move backwards. So he does a basic action sometimes when he gets attacked, and then he's going to move back 3. Fortunately, since I have all of these destructible terrains, well, no, I don't think they stop monster movement. I think they stop mine movement. When a monster passes over, it's archived. Okay. Okay. So the question now is, what should I do for this attack? And definitely, if you're watching, you can chime in for ideas too. I've done 2 damage if I leave this in play. So I need to do 11 more damage, and currently I only have 1 person with a tempo point. And initially, and I can remove tempo cards by having anybody hit. I just can't wound until there are no tempo battle pressures. So I need to hit him multiple times first. That's sort of like what I was thinking about possibly doing the Skullcap Hammer first, because he swings so many times, he can mill all of these hits, and then I can have someone swing in and just do raw damage, is what I'm thinking. But because all he has to do is hit, I don't have to necessarily be behind him either. I could have him be like to the side, which I'll probably do. It's easier to hit in the back, but it's also easier to wound in the blind spot. And I don't want him to wound. I just want to remove the battle pressures and I want to apply the -1 speed is what I want to do, because this went away now. Basic doesn't give tempo. What gives tempo is whenever you hit, not wound, when you first hit, you get a battle pressure card, which then you roll on the tempo table. And then depending on what the result is on table, you may get a tempo points or bad stuff or king step. So whoever hits could get tempo. But if I remove 3 battle pressures, I can then just do raw damage and wound. And I don't know yet what king step does. I just know that was something on there. So I think I'm going to move here first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to try to just get in those hits. Just to remove the battle tempos. Now, I don't know what tempo does. Like, maybe tempo just allows you to overcome all toughness, period. And if so, he may still be the best person to get that, because his ability to wound with the hammers are kind of garbage compared to a spear and a club. So I think it's a good win. It's either he'll get king step, whatever that is, or battle tempos, or at least he'll mill through the battle pressures and give him -1 speed. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's do it. So he's going to do his first attack with this hammer to the left. He can spend survival again. So he rolls 3 dice, and it hits on a 6. I think tempo equals more hits with king step. Probably. I don't remember. I just remember that basically whoever had king step had a dramatically greater chance to kill the Kingsman. That's all I remembered. I don't know if it was accuracy, or it added to your speed, or added to toughness. I just remember it gave you the capacity to do it. Or maybe it allowed you to bypass the battle pressures. I don't know. I just remember it gave you the ability to kill him. That's all I remember. Okay, so we got a 6, a 9, and a natural 10, which is great. Natural 10 means he gets a -1 speed token, which is helping save us, so he has less attack dice. And then I hit on a 6, so I got 3 hits, which is great, because that means he just milled through all 3 of the battle pressures. Fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. So it's 3 battle pressures, of which the other 2 will go away, and we'll just do the first one. If I read it correctly last time. Let me make sure it's correct. Your body trembles and your mind wavers. You struggle just to stay standing against the pressure projected by the monster. Discard all unresolved hit locations, which are these 2, and end your attack and attempt to overcome. Okay. So what's great about using the hammers is it's not like the guitars. The guitars, it's like you do one attack with 2 weapons together, but when you do the hammer, they're actually 2 separate attacks. So the fact that battle pressure said that you cancel your attack, that's fine. That means you cancel the attack of this hammer, not this hammer, because these are actually 2 separate attacks using blood paint. Allows me to attack twice. Whereas the guitar, it's one attack that's raw, 2 at once. Which is an important distinction. That's why he's the best person to get this, because now he could also potentially do damage in addition. Which you could argue maybe that then I should have been behind. It just I just don't think he's the best person to wound. So yeah, stick with the plan. Alright, so now I do battle pressure. So I roll 1d10. Let's see what happens. Reroll. Oh shit! Oh shit! Natural lantern! Oh shit! Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What does that mean? Oh shit! Oh shit, we rolled a 10! We fucking rolled a 10! A 10 is king step. And something else that I have to read. Oh shit! He fucking did it! On a 10 plus, you grasp the pattern behind the monster's fine movements a rhythm that lets you control the pace of the fight. You have overcome the battle pressure and learned something valuable. Gain the King Step secret fighting art. Oh shit, we did it. We did it. We did it. I didn't think he'd do it. He did it. I don't know what King Step does. We're going to find out, but he got it, whatever it is. Because I noticed on the table, if you roll different things, you can gain more tempo parts, tempo points, which then add to your dice roll to roll high. All right, King Step, secret fighting art. Whenever you attack, you can discard any number of battle pressure hit locations drawn and draw an equal number of new hit locations. So not only does he discard them, but then he can, for any ones that I would have hit, I can draw that many hit locations. And then whenever I attack, instead of drawing hit locations, whenever you attack, after drawing hit locations, but before rolling the wound, you may choose one hit location drawn and discard it to draw a new hit location. Traps will cancel these effects. So this allows me to do a little bit of milling when I draw the hit locations, but if I draw a trap card, I'm still screwed. But wow, that's awesome. Especially for him, because I mean, shit, that's awesome. Okay, so that was Adam. All right, now what? Is that else? You overcome, gain secret fighting art. Okay, so that was it for battle pressure. Now he's attacking with his other hammer. So he rolls 3 dice, right? 3 dice, and I hit on a 6. A 4, another 10, and a 7. I can't daze him twice, but that means I got 2 hits. So we got Regal back, and unfortunately a trap card. So let me check the wording on this, because I did get a trap card. I got Regal back and Acid Blood Discharge, which sounds terrible. Let me just read the back on the trap thing. I could go blah, 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 blah. Traps will cancel these effects. So we drew a trap, so it doesn't matter what we could have done. We drew a trap, which then cancels all hits. Which cancels all hit locations, you do the trap. Okay. But he has King Step. And now since we reshuffle, that means the battle pressures then go back into the hit deck and go to the and then go to the top, which means other people have the same problem with battle pressure. Yeah, I don't even remember what Acid Blood does. I can't remember if we ever even drew a trap when we fought him last time. Wow. Acid Blood Discharge. And it's at super like font 20 size. Gouts of acid spew from the cracks in the monster's armor. They'll read it to you. Look how big of that text is from the rest because of the text. Like, they don't want you to miss it. The attacker is doomed, which means you can't spend survival at all. All survivors within 2 spaces of the monster suffer damage to a random hit location equal to the number of wounds on the wound stack. To the number of the wounds on the wound stack. What does that mean? These are... Oh my god. Oh my god, that's what it means. This says you suffer number of wounds equal to on the wound stack. The wound stack is how much damage we've done. So if we did like 6 damage to the monster, we would take 6 damage to everybody. Christ. Fortunately, we only have 1. All survivors within 2 spaces of the monster suffer damage to a random hit location equal to a number of... So they'll suffer this amount of damage to a random spot. So like if this is really large, it would like nuke everybody. All this acid would just kill everybody adjacent to him. Holy shit. Okay, so everyone within 2 spaces. So both these people will suffer 1 damage to a random location. So for Spear Dude, we got hand, and then Hammer Dude, we got waist. Now let's see what happens next. Any survivors with a shield could have protected themselves. So that's good to know when I fight this person in the future, that if you have a shield, you can protect yourself from the acid splash. And then also return any discarded battle pressure cards to the top of the hit location deck. Blah. Yeah, I knew that. Okay, so I'll do this in a sec. Now each of these take 1 damage to where it says. So Spear Dude takes 1 damage to hand. So it goes from 4 to 3. And then Adam takes 1 to waist, of which he only has, that's the only one of the only 2 places he had armor, so he goes from 1 to 0. Yeah, so you see what I mean? Like, what if the wound stack was 10? That means anyone adjacent would take 10 damage to a place. That's terrible. That's like instant death. Yeah, whips are good too. I've noticed whips are also good at saving your characters during the hunt, because people can grab onto the whip, I've noticed as well. It's definitely something I want to make. I just want to make the better whip from the Leatherworker, is the thing. Definitely the next settlement location I want to make, because there's so many good things. With the Leatherworker, you can make a shield, you can make a better version of the whip, and you can also make leather, which is a requirement for higher level gear. So yeah, so many good stuff. Okay, so that's the end of his turn. Now I have other 3, but the problem is now I shuffled the hit location deck, and then more battle pressures to put at the top. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That means more people can learn King Step, so it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's wasting turns that I could be doing damage, is the thing. And as you already see, he's nuking people. And potentially when I hit him, he splashes acid everywhere. I mean, it's like, what? Not good. So right now I'm shuffling the discard deck. I'm shuffling the discarded cards back into the deck, and then I'm going to put 3 battle pressures on top. Okay. So we got a new deck, 3 battle pressures. And then that's the end of his turn. All right, so now I have 3 more people that can go. Now I'm totally prone for dashing to help trigger, do more damage and stuff. So I want the people that can do massive damage to go last, because if I have one person, well, but that it can't. It's only if you do multiple hits. What I'm saying is, I'll do the person that has the lowest chance to damage go first. That's what I mean. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has to dash to get in range, but could get behind. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can use the spear at range. Okay. Oh no, this is the spear. Shit. I could have Emily actually dash back in order to slam forward, so maybe I'll do her last. This is Eve. No, this is Eve. This is Samantha. Samantha can take it, so I'll have Samantha dash to get behind. Because again, I need to have someone in the blind spot. That way he doesn't get a bonus to toughness, right? I have to do that. Which then means if during next turn, let's say he doesn't react, he's going to face this direction and then move back spaces before he does an AI. Okay. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. That way if I get bashed, if I get knocked back, even though I take 1 damage, I stop here. So I'll go to here. And I'll spend a survival to dash. So it goes from 5 to 4. But movement's -1, but I'm dashing, so it doesn't matter. Because that means I move 8 spaces, is what I mean. Okay, and then she's going to attack. And she's course, the other question is I could pounce, which I think I'm going to do. I'll move to get in range and I'll pounce as my attack. When I pounce, she gets a bonus. Where is it? She gets +1 accuracy and +1 strength. In addition, she also gets bonuses from having the whole white lion set to her deck, her katars as well. But I factor that into her initial boxes on her attack grid. Okay, so that means she rolls 5 dice, and her accuracy is +1. So that means she hits on a 3 and she rolls 5 dice. Which basically means that potentially I can mill through all of the battle pressures. So I hit on a 3. Actually, no, I hit on a 2 because I'm also in the blind spot. So that's another bonus action. So I hit on a 2. So that would be 5 hits. One of them being a natural lantern. So, battle pressure, battle pressure, battle pressure, and then Regal Sheath. God fucking damn it. Look what I drew. The second card, Acid Blood Discharge. Son of a bitch. The second card after the 5. God damn it. That means this cancels all of the other 4. We do this, and then all these 3 go back. God fucking damn it. Because if you ever draw a trap, you always do it first. So it's not like I can get tempo and then do the trap. You always do the trap first. God fucking damn it. Shit. God. Jesus. Okay, so the attacker is doomed. Now it's this person. All survivors within 2 spaces of the monster suffer a random hit equal to the number of wounds. So all 3 of these people will take 1 damage to a random hit now. God damn it! The second card from the top. Son of a bitch. To be fair, I don't know how many traps are in the deck, but I swear to God, if there's only 1 trap, that fucking sucks. Who shuffled this deck? Jesus. Okay. Whoops. Good stuff flying everywhere. Okay, so first off, I'll do her. So that's 1 to head. And then 1 to... What is that? Chest? Is that a chest? Yeah. 1 to chest. And 1 to chest. And then that ends her entire attack and all that stuff. Jesus. He's this alien shit, man. Okay, so Samantha takes 1 to head, so she goes to 2. Adam takes 1 to chest, which he has no protection, so he takes light damage. And she takes 1 to chest. It goes to 3. I mean, if I draw trap cards when I've done damage, that's gonna like kill everybody just from that alien shit. God damn it. That was terrible. God, fuck. That was not good, because she actually had a really good attack. So that's very unfortunate, because that was a really good attack. And they all hit. That would have been some, like, decent damage, too. That is very unfortunate, I would have to say. Right, so we reshuffle the hit deck, put the 3 battle pressures back on top. Because you reshuffle when you draw a trap. So it goes to the top. So that's the end of her turn. Now I got 2 people left. So, the fact that I still have to do battle pressures, I'm not going to do any damage. So there's no point in me trying to get super close. So I think what I'll do is I'll just dash to here. Well, actually, no. I could shoot my bow from here. My range is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, I'll just stay here and just shoot my bow. And that's wasting more survival. Because Eve has 6 survival. There's no point in wasting it now. Alright, so I'll just stay here and do my attack. So that's going to be 2 dice. And I'm using my bow, which means the accuracy is I hit on a 7+. Yeah? 7+? We rolled a 4 and 8, so that is 1 hit. So I do get 1 battle pressure. Yay. Now I roll D10, see what happens. We rolled an 8. You sense a pattern and foresee the monster's attempt to trip you. At the last moment, you shift your balance. Suffer 1 damage to the legs, but gain 1 tempo token. I don't know how I take 1 damage that far away. RP, I would say that really doesn't happen, but okay. So wait, what am I doing? Suffer 1 damage to legs and gain 1 tempo token. So she gets a tempo token. Who is that? That was Eve. She gets 1 to tempo. And takes 1 damage to legs. So she goes from 2 to 1. I don't know how she's tripped that far away, but the fact he's got this battle pressure effect, maybe it's part of it. It's like, boom, like swinging the halberd and does this force attack, I'll say. Okay. So I got rid of 1 battle pressure, but got 1 tempo already. And then I have this dude, but there's no point in me trying to do raw damage because I have to get through battle tempos first, and she won't have enough to get through them. So she might as well just attack from here and just stay put. Or what I could also do is I could attack and then move adjacent a bunch. That way I can charge in with my attack next turn potentially. Because he's going to do his basic attack and then move backwards and then move forward. So I could at least move 1 just so I'm covered, potentially. Or go like back to here. That way he collides with this if he moved forward or something. Okay, so we're going to do our attack first, which is 4 dice and then hit on a 6+. Hopefully I haven't missed doing something incorrectly, but I know that's possible because there's so many factors going on. 4 dice, hit on a 6. We have 2 natural lanterns and 2 8s, so that's actually 4 hits. So we got Battle Tempo, Regal Knees, which has first strike, and Regal Plume, which is impervious. Regal Plume means you don't wound, but you could do the critical effect if you crit. First strike means that the effect happens before you try to wound. But then also have battle pressures. But I can do these in any order, so I can do battle pressure first before I proceed. But I got 4 hits. And if I recall, battle pressure, you discard any unresolved hit locations. So these will be discarded anyway. But what that also means is I discard all the other battle pressures. But it's also the last turn this round, so whatever. Okay, so now she rolls, and I add 1 to the roll because she has battle tempo, 1 point. So we rolled a 5, plus 1, so that's a 6. Alright, a 6. Just as you start to follow the monster's subtle movements, the tip of the king's man's foot hooks your ankle. You are knocked down, but then gain 1 tempo. So she gains a tempo, so she's at 2, and then knocked down. And because she's knocked down, that means she also can't move. Alright. Alright, so that's the end of our turn. That means these 3 battle pressures go back to the top of the deck. And then all the stuff. Whew, man, these rounds are pretty long. I need to rest my back for a split sec. Drink some coffee. So the next person that's the monster controller now is going to be Adam, which is this guy here. Say no. So currently we have Adam with King Step, Eve with 1 tempo, Emily with 2 tempo, and Samantha with nothing, who also has a -1 movement token. And everyone so far is still alive. And everyone so far still has survival to spend, so everyone's still okay. I just don't know how long I can stay okay, and I still have to do a lot of damage to this guy, so I need to hurry up. Because it doesn't mean anything if everyone has King Step, but then nobody has the capability to do damage. The other problem is, again, if I ever draw a trap card, everybody takes massive damage equal to to whatever the wound is. However big the wound stack is, I should say, which is terrible. Meaning I could be close to victory and everyone can insta-die. Yeah, I can totally put my energy drink. I did manage to get some more supplies this morning. I won't say when or where, just to save the secret of it, but I was able to get more stuff, including water, which is great, by the way. I think I'm good on toilet paper just because I have 12 rolls and I live by myself. So it's like, how much do you shit a week? You know, I think I'm okay as far as that goes. But I could see how it could be a problem if you have like a family of 4 or something. You go through toilet paper pretty quick, right? Especially if everyone's staying at home. So I do understand, even though I still think it's super weird. Anyway. Okay, so we're at the top next round, which means he doesn't get bonus to armor because someone's in his blind spot. And then he's going to do a basic action, and then he's going to move back 3 spaces, and then he's going to do an AI. Just to reiterate on the order. The other thing to reiterate is he doesn't have any more AI cards in his deck. He doesn't have any more AI cards. That means everything's at least could be B level. So everything could be bad, but it's not going to be epic bad. Because one AI card is in the wound stack, and the other one I know is right here. So at least I have that going for me. Alright, so first thing he's going to do, I've already put the battle pressures back. He's going to do King's Aura. I mean, he already did King's Aura. He's going to do a basic attack. But when he does a basic attack, what he does is he turns, and then he's going to move back 1, and then he's going to attack at range 2 to hit this person. So that means then when he moves back 3 spaces, he's going to collide with me here and not move anymore, and this person will be knocked down. He's already knocked down. So he's going to be stuck right there, but then he's going to do his then next action. Okay, anyway. He has -1 speed, so he rolls 2 dice. And he's attacking Samantha, who has evasion 1. So he hits on a 4+. He rolled a 3 and a 3. So they're both misses. Evasion for the win. He completely missed. So now he's going to move back 3 spaces, which he's going to collide and knock me down, which I already do. I don't take damage by hitting this. So that's that. He moved back. Now he does an AI card, which is Hook and Pull. The farthest threat in the field of view in range. So the farthest threat in field of view. Right now, everyone's in his field of view. The farthest threat would be this person, and is person in range. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is in range. So he's going to move and attack. So he's going to move over here and then attack. His speed is 3, minus 1 is 2. And he hits on a 3, but that's the club dude who has 1 evasion, so he hits on a 4. 2 dice, 4 plus. That's a 9 and a 10, so that's definitely 2 hits. And that's a chest and the hand. And that's going to be 3 damage. And then after damage, move the monster back 2 spaces without turning, and then he's going to grab the target. So, what am I going to do? Grab this means I get pulled back with him. So he's going to hit me and then move back 2, and then I'll be adjacent. Which may not be a bad thing. It's only bad if I draw a trap card, right? So I'm taking 3 damage to hand and the chest. I mean, by having to move back 2, though, he'd be closer for everyone to move in and attack, though. That's the good thing, if I did that. So maybe I'll spend 1 survival and then let him grab me. Move the monster back 2 spaces without turning. The target suffers grab. The target is knocked down, and the target suffers 1 damage per monster level. My idea here is, by having him closer, people don't have to dash to get close and can just move in and attack, is my idea. So I think I'm going to split the difference. I think I'll stop one of the attacks and the other attack have it go through. So you have twice the number of odds to get a chest hit, so I think I'll stop the damage to the chest. So I'll prevent the chest, and I'll take 3 damage to the hand. So that means it goes from 2 armor down to 0 and light damage to hand. And then I'm spending 1 survival. That goes to 5. And then the monster moves back 2. 1, 2. And then I get pulled along, if I recall. And then knocked down. But this is freshly knocked down, so I'm going to put 2 counters there. Meaning it won't be till the end of the monster's next turn. So this person will get up, this person will not. Their next actions is what I mean. So I'll do that, just keep track. So what I do is, what I've done that I added to the game, so to keep track, is at the beginning of every survivor's turn, they remove 1 of these. So if they have 2, you know they're still knocked down. That's the easy way to have to track it. And that's one thing that's missing in this game, is they don't tell you on how to track a lot of the stuff. And some ways to make it easier. So it's not a memory game. Because it's already enough to remember, and I know I've already screwed up enough stuff. And I might still be and not even noticing it. That's the other thing. Like I've, for example, been forgetting about Boss Mendy. That whoever's adjacent to this person when they attack gets +1 speed. Did I forget that? Did I have that opportunity before? Maybe. I don't know. I forgot. So, there you go. Okay, so and then he takes 1 damage to a random place. So 1 damage to head, of which has 1 armor left to the head, so it goes to 0. Okay. And then I believe that's it for his turn. He didn't attack, he grabbed. It was called hook and pull. Okay, now it's our turn. She gets up, he's still knocked down. Or she, whatever. You know what I mean. Okay. So the other thing I could do is I could have someone spend a survival to get to pick this person up also. Since this person has a lot of tempo, I could do that. That way he has another chance to get another tempo point. That's something I could also do. Which is not a terrible idea. The other thing that's not terrible is having someone look at the AI deck to determine what comes up next. That's another good idea. That way I can sort of control the behavior. But even if I'm doing that, though, I should do it last. That way I can determine the least impactful thing at the end of the round. Oh, that's right. Was anybody here honorable? Oh, shit. See, that's what I'm talking about. Missing shit. No disorders. No disorders. No disorders. Fortunately, none of these people have disorders. You know what's been happening is a lot of people that have been getting disorders have been getting killed off for one reason or another. Yeah, currently no one has any disorders. But yeah, like the crew 2 Lantern years ago, yeah, one of them had honorable, right. Yeah, currently no one has disorders, currently. But you're right, some of these people actually had if they got a perfect hit, something happens. If this one got a perfect hit, he got +1 insanity. Timeless Eye actually gets a perfect hit on 9+, but has nothing that benefits from it, so that doesn't matter. Dang it. So much shit to keep track of. Oh my god. Okay. So. I almost forgot. Talking stuff. Adam has Kingsman. And remember, whenever he attacks, he gets rid of all of the what's it called? Battle pressures. So if I have him attack first, everyone else can deal raw damage. Yeah, that's what I should do. No one else technically needs tempo. Like, I can go in right now and have everyone actually attack. So when they attack, they'll be going against toughness 12, but whoever attacks in the blind spot will be -4 toughness. Yeah, I forgot about that, man. So I think what I should do is I should have Adam attack first here, and then people can just go for it. If he splashes more acid, at least right now, only do 1 damage, potentially. Yeah, I think I should do that first. That way I can get some damage in. Like, he needs to die, man. People are running out of armor and survival. I'm running out of, like, credits for the arcade, you know? So I'll go 1, 2, 3. So the -1 speed went away. Then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, the other thing is whoever's adjacent to her will get +1 speed. Meaning, do I want to do that though? I'll figure that out later. Maybe I'll have him move here just so I have more options. Well, no, he can't move around anyway. He'd have to go. Oh, he's knocked down. Yeah, so it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, I'll have him move here. So he did his move. And now he'll attack, but he's got King's Step. Whenever you attack, after drawing hit locations, but before rolling the wound, you may choose 1 hit location drawn and discard to draw a new one. And then also, whenever you attack, you can discard any number of battle hit locations drawn and draw an equal number of new hit locations. Alright, so we'll definitely do him first. So he, again, rolls 3 dice. The question is, do I want him to attack from... Well, no, he's going to attack twice anyway with Skullcap Hammer, so it doesn't matter. He has all sorts of attacks. No reason to waste the blind spot. I should have that be someone who actually has more raw damage, which is basically the other 3 people. Alright, so he's going to attack from there. He's going to use the left hammer first, and it's going to be 3 dice, hit on a 6. We got a 3, a 3, and an 8. So that's 1 hit. So we get 1 battle pressure. And it said I can discard the battle pressure in order to draw another location, right? I can discard a battle pressure to draw another card. So I did 1 hit. So I'll discard this to draw another hit. So I get battle pressure again. So now I go to battle pressure. So he rolls d10. It's a 4. The monster easily predicts your motion and skewers you with your own momentum. Spend 1 survival or suffer a random severe bodily injury. Gain 1 tempo token. So we're going to gain a tempo. And then also spend a survival to prevent a severe injury, for sure. So he goes to 2. Alright, so there's 1 battle pressure left, and now he's going to attack with his other weapon. So we got 5, a 1, and a 5. And I hit on a 6+, that's all misses. Right. Good attempt though. So he got rid of 2 battle pressures though. So that means if I at least have 1 person hit at all, the other 2 people will go straight to damage. Unless I draw some stupid card, right? So, I want to get rid of hits. So I think the next person I want to bring is Cat Person, because Cat Person rolls a lot of dice. So I'm going to go, and this person will have attack from behind. Okay? So this is, what? 5 dice. Wait, how far away was I? Could I have pounced? Did I move 3 spaces? Where was I? Shit. Was I here or was I here? Or was I here? I mean, I think the monster was here last time because then he moved, and that's how. So I think I did. I think that is a pounce, right? Am I wrong? Was I 3 spaces away? I think I was. Okay, I'm gonna pounce. So pounce, I get +1 accuracy, and I'm behind another +1. So, or was I here? God, I can't remember now. I can't remember. I mean, if I can't remember, then I guess I should just do a normal move. So I'll just do a normal move. I can't remember. Yeah, I'll just do a normal move. All right, so I hit from behind. So I hit on a 3. Roll 5 dice. Hit on a 3. That's 5 hits. One of them was Natural Lantern. So I get Battle Pressure, and then Regal Greaves, Regal Skirts, Regal Gut Plates, Acid Blood Discharge. You know, in hindsight, I think that was stupid, because if you do Battle Pressure, it cancels all the other cards anyway. Now I just created Battle Pressure for no reason. And I did Acid Blood Discharge, so that means everyone's going to get hit. Ugh. God damn it, man. This game's hard. I'm I'm slowly. Victory is just slowly slipping away. Like, I still haven't done damage, and just not getting through it, man. Because now it's going to be reshuffled. Now everyone takes 1 damage to a random hit. Everybody. So 1. Damn it. It's like if I didn't roll so many, I would have actually got a hit in. Ah, God. I'm also getting unlucky on the traps. Like, if the traps are close to the bottom of the deck, I also wouldn't have this fucking problem. Adam takes 1 to hand. Light damage. I'll do her last. Spear person takes 1 to hit. So it goes to 4. Club person takes 1 to chest. So that goes to 1. And then Samantha takes 1 to waste. It goes to 2. And that ends her attack. And it's like, every time I draw a trap instead of dealing limited damage, I lose the ability for King Step. And it's like, I need everyone to have King Step, or 1 person with King Step to remove all the shit so I can fucking do damage. It's like, god damn it. I'm losing my opportunities to hit with these fucking traps. Okay. So now there's 3 more battle pressures. So I might as well have her, who already has a lot of 2 tempo, to try to get King Step, is what I need to do at this point. Just try to get it. The problem is when he does a basic attack, he's going to hit both people if I stay there. Unless I dash around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then attack from range. I guess. Because otherwise they're both going to get hit by the basic attack, which does 3 damage. So I don't want more than 1 person to get hit, you know what I mean? Okay, she's gonna spin a dash to be able to move to here, and then it's gonna attack at range 2. So she's going from 6 to 5. Survival, and then she's gonna attack. Her attack is 4 dice, and it hits on a 6. And did I hit with Yeah. So I got my minus. Yeah, I know for a fact he got that natural lantern. Yeah, I know that happened. So he's still got -1 speed. Four dice, hit on 6. We got a 9, so that's 1 hit, which we know is going to be a tempo. I just forgot to shuffle the deck, so I'll shuffle the deck and then put the tempos on top. But we know one of them's going to be a tempo. Fact. Yeah, this may very well be the longest showdown because each of these showdowns just has so many steps happening. So I'm sorry, but at the same time, we're going through it. If I see that this is going super long, I may take a break and have it be a part 1, part 2 scenario, because I don't want to have one stream that's like 4 hours long. And honestly, I forgot when I started. Actually, after I shuffle this deck and complete this round, I'm going to look at the stream to see how long we've been streaming, because I don't want a stream to go more than 3 hours, for sure. if that's what's happening. So let me check. Oh, and again, let's do a part 1 and part 2. If that is the case. I just hope for the love of God I get this fucking trap to go to the bottom of the deck. Ugh, God, I'm so sick of seeing that fucking trap. That's gonna really hurt if he starts taking if he has a lot of wound stack and someone gets hit, that can nuke everybody. Which just means that means I have to attack at range and just have only one person in the blind spot that's close. That's also what it means. The problem is it's distance 2, so that means I can only have 2 people attack potentially. One person in blind spot, and then with the bow. So I don't know. All right, so we got a new hit deck. These 2 are going top. We've got a battle pressure. We know what that does, so we roll, and then we're going to be adding 2 points to the number. We rolled a 7, which means that turns into a 9. If the summon innovated Forbidden Dance, you get some other stuff that happens. We don't have Forbidden Dance. So you sense a pattern and foresee the monster's attempt to trip you. At the last moment, you shift your balance. Suffer 1 damage to the legs. Gain 1 tempo token. So now she's at 3 tempos and 1 damage to the leg. So it goes from 4 to 3. Okay. And all right. So that's the end of the round because this person's knocked down. So I'm just going to take a couple-minute break to get some water and look at how long the stream has gone. Because again, if it's going to go epic long, I'd rather have this in parts, not only to rest my back, but so each of these streams is digestible. So, one sec. Yeah, this stream has already gone now for like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm expecting every round is taking 30 minutes is what's happening. So I think what I'm going to do is probably call it for this stream and have this be the end of part 1. So the new target is going to be Eve, who's this person. Well, who could potentially with Monster Controller. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So the next video, it's possible it could be later today, otherwise it'll be tomorrow, but it'll be the next video, and I'll label it part 2 of this Nemesis Encounter. So far we're still surviving. We're slowly gaining tempo. We have 1 person with Kingsman. We're just not doing a lot of damage, and I'm just afraid that eventually, I'm not gonna be able to get a stun in, and someone's gonna get one-shotted. That's what I'm afraid of. But we'll see. Well, thanks for watching. This is definitely the most exciting Nemesis Encounter as of yet in this campaign. And this is going to be the end of part 1, and part 2 will be the next stream. We'll continue exactly where we started off, with the top of the round being with the Kingsman. Just make sure I put these cards back correctly. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode and part 2.